again, we've got to look at what is happening, how is this moving, when is it possible to lift the postponement, and if it is possible and when it is possible, then we've got to really, I think, ask those questions or answer those questions at that point in time.
Boz?
Absolute class act. He has been throughout this. So has Greg O'Rourke, who's been ahead of the A-League, and especially all the players and the staff. Now, a lot like rugby league, you know, we had to do everything we possibly could to finish off the season. We had a few games left. Some teams only got 4 games left. And while the advice from the Chief Medical Officer was that we could still play, they did everything possible. They had a right crack, even up until yesterday, saying that all teams would congregate in New South Wales. The majority are here anyway, including Wellington from New Zealand. But in the end, Anastasia...
We've closed the borders, so
closed the borders. Western Australia have, South Australia have as well. New Zealand have as well. So the obstacles proved too much, and I think it was the only option was to postpone the season.
I talked with someone last night who's got extensive knowledge of what was going on behind the scenes. So they started 3 weeks ago and said, this is how rapidly it moved. They said, yeah, we'll be right to finish the season. And then day by day, everything crept in, the walls crept in. They were moving it to, let's try and play every day, let's try and play in one central location. They were going to bring everyone to Sydney. Everyone was set to come to Sydney. Everyone was sweet to do that. And in the end, they just could not. They were restricted so much that they've now made that decision. Boz is right, James Johnson has led so well.
And a special word as well, Adam, for the club owners, because, you know, they've moved heaven and earth, especially for the Wellington, you know, to do what they did.
As you mentioned,
it's been
Boz,
absolutely fantastic.
It's towards the end of the season, so much so that, I mean, do they go Sydney FC, you've got the title?
They're going to try and give it time. Look, it's weird in A-League that, well, not weird, it's different in A-League in the sense that the contracts run out on May 31. Playing contracts end on May 31. So they're trying to look at ways of maybe extending that by a month. But you've got, you mentioned players in England, they've got like Johnny Bateman, his situation. A-League have got players from Uruguay,
55
Panama,
foreign players,
Spain,
Adam.
France. Everything's going on around the world. So they're in the same boat as well. They want to get back. A lot of players come out without their family. There's one player who plays for Wellington, Ulysses Davila. His wife has had a newborn in Mexico. So he's had to go from his temporary home in Wellington to come over to Sydney to hang out here. Then he's got to go back to Wellington and somehow get back to see his young child that's just been born into the world.
And Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, actually said overnight as well, in consultation with the World Health Organization, after speaking to him, that they might take a look at worldwide extending that contract break. So in other words, if your contract, because of this circumstance, finishes at May 31, they might put everything back like that. So that's really good news. And James Johnson's been all over that. He spoke to both FIFA and the AFC to make sure that we can do everything possible. Like I said, I'm just so proud of the players and the staff, because they're the ones who are truly in the front line to have a real crack to continue this on. But unfortunately, like I said, there was just too many obstacles in the end, and postponement was the right call.